Next one.
Not on Friday lah for them.
Next one.
Afraid that you are going to do it again on Friday.
Jangan on Friday. Bagus. Bagus.
Kuantan kita divide pada dua.
Ya.
Clinical satu grup dan clinical satu grup kan.
Next week we'll do for Kuantan. Okay lah, so we have reached 100, the number 100 there, and I think this is also on YouTube kan. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let us start officially. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let us begin our session this morning with Al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wa mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So we praise Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to have this short sharing session this morning to start the conversation about our revised criteria for promotion. Of course, with me in this room, I am at MSD meeting room actually. So I have all the big people from MSD here. So later, if you have questions, you can ask them. They will answer all your questions. Ni dia punya ni hilang. Kamera hilang. Alright. Ada. Otherwise ada. Okay, give me 1 minute because suddenly something happened. Alright now. Okay, so Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. I welcome all of you to this sharing session. As we mentioned before we started just now, that this morning we are talking to Kuliah of Architecture, KAID, KICT, Engineering, KLM, also ISTEC, IIBF, and INHAT, as well as CELPET. So, okay, so it's a very large group, but Alhamdulillah, since we have Zoom, so hopefully we can have a good session to discuss this matter. Of course, I prefer if we can go and have a direct face-to-face conversation on this issue, but unfortunately, due to our situation, COVID-19, we have to do it in Zoom. Maybe there's a blessing in disguise. May Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and make our affairs easy. All right. Okay, so with that, let me have my slide. How can I have my slide? Can I share my slide? So I will talk a little, more or less about 40 minutes to 45 minutes. And then inshallah after that, we can have question and answer. You can ask the question through the chat box or you can raise your hand. We allow you to speak. Just one reminder from the secretariat, there is an attendance link.
Yes.
Yeah, you can record your attendance if you want to collect your CPD point. Maybe the point also can be used for your promotion later on. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As a background, earlier this year, we started to use our new APA system, and I think by now all of us are now quite familiar with the new APA system, where in the APA system, if you still remember, we're trying to capture all the contributions made by our colleagues without a specific or particular KPI. Okay, so that is what we did. So as an extension to that, with the same framework and concept, so we are going to share and discuss this revised promotion criteria for academic staff that we plan to implement starting 2021 January. Okay, so I guess just want to put everything in perspective and to connect and to link all this revised promotion criteria and promotion exercise effort to our IIUM vision and also mission. So I will take a few minutes at the beginning of this session to refresh our mind on our IIUM vision as well as mission. And I will also quote some statements by Professor Kamal in his latest foreword that he wrote, that I find it very, touching and also refreshing, reminding us about IIUM vision and mission. Okay, so I'm not going to go through in detail the vision, just that I would like to pick up a few points that relate to our sharing session this morning about promotion exercise. So as you recall, I mean, our vision is we are talking about our university would like to become a leading international center of excellence in education, research, and innovation, which seeks to restore the dynamic and progressive role of the Ummah in all branches of knowledge for the betterment of human life and civilization. So I guess to make it brief, then the first point is our promotion exercise also will capture all this. We're talking about excellence. We are talking about education, which is teaching and learning. We're talking about research and innovation. Okay, must be there in our promotion exercise. We're also talking about betterment of human life and civilization, meaning that what should be our contribution to the betterment of human life and civilization. So that should also be captured in our promotion criteria, so that our promotion criteria really support our IIM vision and mission. And then if I go a little bit to the early part of this vision, we are talking about holistic education. Okay, so we mentioned that worldview of Tawhidic and Islamic philosophy of unity of knowledge, as well as concept of holistic education. So this is another important, I would say, theme in our revised promotion criteria, which is we emphasize more on holistic education. And in order for us to have an holistic education, then we have to have holistic personality, holistic staff that support this holistic education, as what you will see in a few minutes. Okay, tied to this is our IIUM mission. And we have been reminded that we have these 7 missions that we need to accomplish. So in order for us to achieve our vision, then we have to embark on these 7 important missions of our university that was crafted many years ago. Okay. Okay, so I think by now also I will do the same thing. I will not go into detail, but just pick up points that is related to or that become the foundation of our revised promotion criteria. Okay, so number one, of course, we talk about integrating Islamic revealed knowledge and human sciences in a positive manner. Okay, but the sentence before that is more important. To undertake the special and greatly needed task of reforming the contemporary Muslim mentality. So meaning that we have to reform the contemporary Muslim mentality. I mean, should be it should be a new understanding and new paradigm shift in the Muslim thoughts. Okay. Okay, towards the true Islamic teaching, okay, so that we can benefit the society, okay, and of course, the integration of Islamic revealed knowledge and human sciences that we have been talking about in many programs that we have. Okay, so that is, so meaning that this part is a very important contribution that we would like our staff to contribute. Number two, a very long mission, okay, but this is very much relevant to our promotion criteria because we are talking about producing quality intellectuals. So that should be us, the academic staff, quality intellectuals, quality professionals, our graduates, and quality scholars. Okay, again, we should be quality scholars. By integrating the qualities of faith, iman, knowledge, good character to serve as agents of comprehensive and balanced progress as well as sustainable development in Malaysia and in Muslim world. So here, again, what is related to our promotion criteria here is we want our staff, our academic staff, part of their performance is to become a good example in all this. I mean, good character, of course, good knowledge is important, but of course, we also talk about iman, the belief, okay, as well as becoming the agent of comprehensive and balanced progress. Okay, so as you can see in a moment, our revised or our new concept of promotion is we want our staff to reflect on their performance and on their achievement. Are they now the agents of comprehensive and balanced progress for the society? So, and as well, of course, I mean, talking about sustainability, okay, not only in Malaysia, but also in the Muslim world. So that one also, our staff needs to reflect in the what you call it, in the submission for the post of promotion, to reflect, I mean, how do I contribute in this area? Number three, I think all of you are very familiar. We're talking about Islamization of the ethics of Muslim academics and administrative staff. So we're talking about Islamization of self, which includes staff and students. And of course, Islamization of certain aspects of human knowledge, particularly the social science and humanity, with a view of making them more useful and more relevant to the Muslim Ummah. Okay, so here is where I now bring Prof. Kamal forward here, some statements. So I'm just going to quote him just a few para here, just to remind us, all of us. In one paragraph, Professor Kamal mentioned that it has to be reiterated that the original reason or reason that for the establishment of IIUM in 1983 was to provide Islamic system of knowledge development and higher education as an alternative to the secularized and westernized paradigm of knowledge construction. So that is one thing that we need to, remind ourselves, that we are talking about providing alternative to the secularized and westernized paradigm. So meaning that we are talking about based on the worldview and epistemology of Tawheed. So our effort here should be based on Tawheedic paradigm. So that is one thing that he reminds us. Therefore, he said, Prof. Kamal said, Islamic universities, including IIUM, were established in post-colonial Muslim countries for the primary purpose of producing a new generation of holistically educated Islamic leaders and professionals. So again, the word that we mentioned. So and also become a framework of our promotion is holistic leaders, holistic professionals. Okay. The ultimate goal of these intellectual and educational initiatives is the realization of Tawheed-based civilization, which produces goodness and well-being or sejahtera in this world and goodness and well-being or sejahtera in the hereafter. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. So meaning to say that this is the ultimate goal. So of us, working with the mission of IIUM is to have this realization of Tawhidic-based civilization, producing goodness and well-being sejahtera not only in this world but also in the hereafter. So Prof. Kamal mentioned about mission number 3. So among them, mission number 3 is the key mission of Islamization of human knowledge based upon the epistemology of the Quran, which contradicts the worldview and epistemology of secular Western society and civilization. Okay, so I hope that you put that in mind in our discussion. Okay, then that is number 3. Number 4, very much relevant to our promotion criteria, to nurture the quality of, again, holistic excellence, which is imbued with Islamic and moral spiritual values. Okay, and then here are our actually promotion criteria in the process of learning, teaching, research, consultancy, publication, administration, and of course, student life. So many of these items will go to our promotion criteria: learning, teaching and learning, research and consultancy, publication, administration, okay, and other points in this mission. To that effect, Prof. Kamal reminds us, it is very important for all IIUM staff to read the IIUM policies and guidelines on Islamization, which came about, okay, a few years ago. We make it very clear in the little book that in the context of IIUM, the mission of Islamization consists of 2 interconnected dimensions. One is Islamization of human knowledge, and B, Islamization of the self. And here self is very important. Let me put his description. This Islamization of self referred to in classical Islamic ethics as tahdib al-akhlaq, refinement of character, al-akhlaq, or ta'thir al-qalb, ta'thir, or cleansing of spiritual heart. And then tazkiyatun nafs, purification of the soul, or tarbiyah ruhiyah. So this is also very important mission and part of our duties as an academic staff. To embark on this when we are dealing with our student. And Prof. Kamal stressed that to him, the second dimension is extremely important. So we have been talking about Islamization of knowledge, but he said that Islamization of self is very important because it is foundational to the production of knowledge and it precedes the first dimension, the Islamization of knowledge. Insofar as the qalb and character of the Islamic scholar influence the nature of her thinking and the knowledge that flows from the heart of the scholar. So meaning to say that we are bringing back the heart, the qalb, the soul. So meaning that I think this is where we are going to talk about humanizing the education. Okay. All right. Then we go on number 5, and number 5 is to talking about internationalization, to exemplify an international community of dedicated intellectuals, scholars, professionals, officers, and workers who are again motivated by the Islamic worldview and code of ethics as an integral part of their work culture. Okay, and then again related to that, number 6 is to enhance intercultural understanding and foster civilizational dialogues in Malaysia, as well as across communities and nations. And the last one is to develop an environment which instills commitment for lifelong learning and a deep sense of social responsibility among staff and students. So again, you will see that in our revised promotion criteria, this element of commitment of lifelong learning and also deep sense of social responsibility among staff and students also will be there. Not to mention that we're talking about the internationalization part. Okay, number 5 and number 6, the intercultural understanding. So the last point that I'm bringing from Prof. Kamal is, Prof. Kamal mentioned that during the second rector, Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman, we were defining the meaning and the implications of the term Islamization. And our current rector, the coming of the Professor Tan Sri Zul in 2018 as the 6th rector of IIUM, opened up new dimensions of IIUM's internationalization mission and societal significance. This is the number 5, 6, 7 there. He, the new rector, our current rector, introduced in 2018 the Malay Islamic concept of sejahtera, which is holistic and balanced human well-being anchored in the purification of the spiritual heart, as a new objective of IIUM without undermining the original philosophy, vision, and missions as enshrined in the Constitution, in accordance with Islamic principles of Maqasid al-Shari'ah and Rahmatan lil Alameen. So that is Prof. Kamal message to all of us. So I guess based on this 7 mission, okay, then I think we want our revised promotion criteria to be aligned with the 7 mission. Okay, so here you go. So this the framework of our revised promotion criteria, as I mentioned, is humanizing education. Okay, like we mentioned a few times in this morning, we're talking about university with a soul, bringing back the soul to the university. We're talking about heart, the cult-based education. Okay, and we are talking about holistic stuff, balanced stuff, because we believe that in order for us to produce holistic students or graduates, our staff must be also very holistic and balanced and become good example and leaders respected by all our students. Okay, so among the new concept is we are talking about flexible and holistic assessment. Okay, that is one keyword for our revised promotion criteria, because we observe and we realize that our staff have different strengths and contributions. So we would like as much as possible to facilitate and to make sure that our staff are excellent in what they are doing. So that, like I mentioned, now we are going to allow our staff to reflect on their contributions. Okay, so maybe let me go one step down. For example, if in the past, for promotion, we just say that for teaching, list down your courses. That's all. I mean, so one staff will just list down, I have been teaching this course for how many semesters, how many students are taking. But now we are allowing, or we are encouraging the staff to reflect on what the staff did, he or she did in the classroom. So he may say that, wow, I've been teaching this subject for last 5 years, and I found it very inspiring, or I mean, the interaction with the students. So this now in this new promotion, I mean, we want the staff to reflect, okay, or the staff develop a new subject, and then maybe he can reflect on that new subject, why he developed that subject, how that subject can contribute to the development of the students or the society. So this is the new concept. Okay, so similarly, I think we'll do that the same thing for research let's say for the research, instead of in the past we are just counting numbers, how much money you got for the grant, but now the staff can reflect. I did this project sponsored by one organization, and then based on the this project, I mean what are my contributions to the society, to the education, to the field of expertise. So now there is a room for reflections, and to show that the project has an impact to the surrounding. So that is, I think, what we want to see. Okay, so that in line with the, of course, we're talking about. That's why I put the previous two slides. Must be in line with the university vision and mission. So I hope that the staff, when they want to embark in teaching and learning, when they are going to start a new research project, when they are going to do a consultancy project, or when they want to publish articles in journals and in newspaper, they must say that, okay, is this in line with the vision and mission of the university or not? Or which mission of the university that I am supporting? Okay. And of course, finally, the last one is in the spirit of leading the way. So we want our staff to become the leaders. Okay. So that one also, there will be a section in our promotion criteria, leadership, where the staff now can reflect. Yes, I am now a leader. I am now, the other day when we have a session with KHS, they say that one staff said that I am now with the Majlis Fatwa, you know, so leader, making fatwa for the Ummah. And this is with Khair, Khalifah, Amanah, Iqra, and Rahmatal lil Alamin. So this is where we have to reflect our amanah, our responsibility, and to show our contribution. So that basically that is the concept and framework. So I think I cover most of the things that I'm going to cover in the next few slides. So I have given you the summary. Yeah. The final one is I would like to mention that university also now talking about Sejahtera academic framework. So again, we want our staff also to be aligned with the Sejahtera academic framework in terms of all their activities. Okay, so this is just a standard eligibility criteria. I mean, for a staff to be eligible to apply for promotion, we're talking about staff who are already confirmed in service for permanent staff, and then of course the candidate can apply for promotion to a higher grade at any time once certain criteria have been achieved and fulfilled as per stated in this guideline. Okay. When we talk about guideline, there is another document that you have to read. We call it a guideline for promotion. Okay, and then the university. Okay, this is a new thing that we are trying to do, and Academic Staff Association also has been discussing with us that we may also have a system where university will also invite or inform the candidates to apply for promotion subject to the condition of they meet certain requirements, benchmarking requirements. But this one we have been discussing. We say that maybe not for staff who achieve minimum. Maybe they have to achieve a little bit, you know, a little bit higher than the minimum, so that I mean the system, I mean, will invite. For example, I can think of, let's say, the staff has been there working without promotion for the last 10 years, and then we look at it, looks like that, I mean, he has achieved, I mean, better than the minimum. So maybe the system can invite or inform the staff to apply. And then the next one is, I think this is more for education, completion of teaching qualification from Ministry of Education if applicable. And of course, the staff must be free from disciplinary actions. Okay, so we have, based on, we discussed just now, based on the vision, mission. So we have identified the following core areas of academic work as contributing factors to individual excellence in the revised promotion criteria. Okay, many of these things is they are very familiar to all of you because these are your bread and butter. This is your life, right? You come to office every day to do all this. So we have teaching and learning, and then we have research, publication, leadership, professional practice and services, impactful contributions. Okay. So at this juncture, let me answer one of normal question that people ask. They say that, wow, in some guideline from the ministry also have this track, teaching track, research track, publication track, whatever track. So we said that if you understand and get the new concept of this promotion exercise, in fact, our promotion, the new promotion exercise is better than that because we will allow our staff to excel in the area that they are good at. So meaning to say that, if let's say somebody, of course, people do not like this example. Somebody get a Nobel Prize winner, all right? So he is excel in the research. So maybe then I think then he can argue that he has achieved a leadership, leading role, and people are referring to him. That's an example. But we can also give an example for teaching and learning. So for teaching and learning, suppose that a staff, I think these few days we are, Malaysians are very excited that one of our teacher now is top 10 in the global teacher, whatever, not competition, dia macam recognition. Okay, so meaning to say that if one of our staff, I think, suddenly become a finalist top 10 in the world, then I think, so he can reflect and he can argue that, I have done something superb in teaching and learning, being recognized by the world body. Then I think then we can put more weightage on that, as you will see in the next few slides. But of course, not to forget that we still look for holistic. You can be excellent in one area, but still you must be holistic. We do not want like, oh, I don't want to teach, I just want to do research. That one I think we cannot accept, because part of our duty as academic staff is all this. We are multitasking. We are doing multitasking. We have to be a very holistic staff. But if you excel in one of them, you can argue. Say that you are leading the way in that area. You are the only one in the country, or you are the first one in IIUM. That sort of thing. So that is allow for flexibility and to give due recognition to the staff in their strength. Okay. So with that, of course, I will just go quickly. There is one slide for each of these criteria or area. Okay, so on teaching. Okay, so of course, all of you know better than me about teaching. Okay, we are talking about fostering students' learning, their ability. Okay, and then to undertake scholarly work. And teaching must have also significant contribution and impactful to the society. All right. And supervision, of course, is necessary for academic staff to provide students with skills in academic research and writing. Okay, but in this 4 quadrant here, teaching and supervision experience, that's why I'm saying that this is just what we did before. We just state what courses have you been teaching, how many students have you been supervising. But now I think it's time for you to also reflect on your teaching and supervision experience. What are the new technology that you use, or what are the new method, or how effective is your teaching? Okay, and then of course the teaching certification awards recognition, like we mentioned. This will support your teaching and supervision contribution. Okay, and the new ideas and innovation. Like we mentioned, teaching and learning also is a very dynamic thing. and especially now in this online teaching era, I mean, where we have to be more creative and more engaged with the students, okay? And finally, significant contributions and relevant to others community, okay? Meaning that teaching, your teaching and your supervision, okay, how this is, I mean, relevant to the others and to the community. Meaning how are you producing future leaders, okay, or how you make it impact to the society. Okay, so this one I think is quite straightforward. Many of you are doing it, but the new spirit is we want us, even though we have been teaching for so many years, how to improve our teaching. This is the continuous quality improvement in teaching and learning. So how can we have a better system, better method in delivering our teaching, learning, and supervision. Okay, on research, of course, research refers to all the activities that creation of new knowledge or if use of existing knowledge in a new creative way to generate new concepts, methodologies, and understandings, all right? And then we're talking about original research and also exhibition of research. But one important point in research is we want our academic staff or researcher to focus, because when in the previous system, when we just calculating or computing or counting the number of research, okay, sometimes we say that one researcher do 3 research, but in 3 different areas. So then normally immediately come to our mind is what is the area of expertise? What is the focus area? Or is the researcher is leading the way in that research area? So I think that is point number 1 there. We are looking at, you need to reflect on what is your research expertise, okay? How do you lead the way in that area of research, okay? And now we are promoting number 2. We're talking about transdisciplinary research, collaborative research, meaning that in this new era, I mean, if you look at many fields, there are research areas that must involve, I mean, more than one department or one kuliah or even one university. Sometimes you have to, I mean, collaborate with your partners in other university or maybe in other countries. So this is what we would like to promote, meaning that we do not want people to only do research in silo, only doing research, but how to work with other fields, I mean, to come up with a new solution that will benefit the society. Okay, we are going to also look at the research awards and achievements. And again, number 4, always, how's the reflection? I mean, we want to know how your research now make an impact in the society. Okay, and of course, how your research, how your research is also humanizing the research, value-based research. Okay, so I think you can explore this because you are good in your area. So related to that is publications. Okay, as we know, publication is tangible outputs of the research activities. It can be any piece of writing that has been published. It could be a research paper, poem, essay, even an article which has been published in any form of media. And now, of course, more people are now publishing also in social media. Huh? Okay, so again, same point. Point number 2 there in this slide, specific area of expertise, specialization that staff are good at. So again, our observation before is where we are counting the number of publications. The staff show us 5 publications, but one is in different area than the others. We want the staff to consolidate, to focus, and be good in one area and become a reference point in that area. All right. So that is, and of course, again, we are talking about how the publication make an impact to the community and industries, and of course others. Okay, how the meaning that it is not doing research not just for the sake of publishing, okay, or you publish just to get the number. No, I mean we want to talk about high impact research that will benefit the society. Okay, then you can also reflect on the quality of publication, and of course as in the previous system, we put more weight on the main or corresponding author. Okay, leadership. This is very important. Okay, we are talking about leading the way with Khalifah, Amanah, Iqra, and Rahmatan lil Alamin. Okay, this is where we want our staff in this section to reflect on the leadership role and the effectiveness of his or her leadership, okay, among his or her colleagues and students. Okay, so how they motivate a group of people towards achieving a common goal, right? And then of course we are talking about how to inspire others or being prepared to do so. This is called guided leadership. Okay, so here we put HUT or guided leadership, trait behaviors, leadership competency. Okay, so meaning to say that if in the past, I mean, you can just say, okay, oh, I have been head of department for 3 years. So maybe now you have to reflect as a head of department, how is you are implementing this HUT guided leadership? See, when you are head of department, when you are the dean, I mean, whether people like you or not, of course, I mean, the dean, people do not like the dean as always. Okay, so I mean, so as a dean, you reflect. Okay, I was a dean before. I have done this 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have transformed the kuliah, that sort of thing. You know, I mean, we're talking about reflection now, not just to say that I'm the dean, I'm the HOD, or maybe you can mention what are the challenges that you did. So it's more human. You know, this time our promotion exercise is more human. We just don't just look at one statement that I am the dean, or I'm the HOD, or I'm the coordinator, or I am a committee member. You can say that I'm a committee member. I become a leader in this committee member, in the committees, you know, throw in new ideas. So those sort of things. So of course, together with that is a leadership competency, and to show that, I mean, good teamwork, good communication skills, empathy, sympathy, and all these things. Okay, we move to professional practice and services. Okay, I think the KICT, K8, and engineering like this for so much. These are practice and services that involve communities and industries. Okay, at kuliah, university, national, international level in area of specialization. Okay, this involve conduct specialized and targeted research on behalf of the client. Okay, and produce a final analysis of key findings. All right. So again, I think this is very easy to reflect. You just mentioned that, okay, I have done this big project for my client, and then you have to say that what are the significant impacts to the client. Okay, maybe you have improved the system in the factory so that they will save a lot of money, you know, or save a lot of energy. So that sort of thing, you know, talking about saving, talking about efficiency, okay, talking about output, more output, okay. And then of course, related to professional is recognition by the learned and professional body. I know that some of us are leading learned and professional bodies, which is good. And then of course, a membership in the position and learned and professional bodies. So these are the things that we need our staff to reflect. Finally, we, as always, no matter how many areas we put, there will be some staff who say that, oh, I contribute in this area that is not listed. So that's why we now provide an open topic contributions. So this contribution impactful contributions refer to significant contributions other than the rest, other than what we have discussed before. So if you have any other impactful contribution that is not discussed before, okay, you can highlight in this section. So this can include, for example, our university's flagship projects, sustainable development agenda, national education philosophy, RCE, etc. Maybe kuliah also have special project that you can highlight. Okay. And here is where we also value KIP. Okay. So we say that we want to move from KPI to KIP. So the key intangible performance indicators may also be presented as part of your success drivers here. So here is where you can say that, well, I mean, as an academic staff, I have done this project, this program, okay? And then what I have achieved is not KPI. You cannot measure, but you can show in terms of KIP, key intangible performance indicators. Okay, you can show that, I mean, you have changed the society, or you have changed, or you have made the impact to the society, okay, to the industry, or to the community, or to the foster schools, you know, that sort of thing. So this is what we're talking about, impactful contributions. Okay. So international recognitions that give global impact to the university and community may also be presented as part of the achievements. So this is also very, very important. Okay. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So those are the description of our core areas. It's like I mentioned from the beginning, since our university expects all staff to be holistic and leading the way, khair, the Khalifah, Amanah, Iqra, and Rahmatan lil Alamin, okay, then first of all, there is a normal expected performance to be considered. This will be shown in the next slide. That is expected, okay, this is based, and we have gathered this expected performance based on the many years of conducting promotion exercise. So as you can see, because I heard that some of our colleagues say that, wow, this new promotion criteria is difficult. No, this new promotion criteria will also cover the previous promotion criteria, meaning that if you are good previously, you also be considered. Okay, but at the same time, we are now allowing the flexibility, okay, that, like I mentioned, like we mentioned at the bottom there. However, the staff who excel and show significant impacts in some categories of core areas may also be considered for promotion. The staff need to demonstrate that those achievements may compensate lower performance in the other core areas. Okay, so meaning to say that the Secretariat has compiled the normal expected performance. Okay, however, we also allow flexibility for staff who are excel in one of the area to compensate the other area. Okay, but bear in mind that we are still looking for holistic staff. So like my previous point, I mean, you cannot say that I am only teaching, I do not want to do research. Cannot. You must do research. Okay, but maybe if you are do so well in teaching, then your research requirement is not as the same as other staff. So that sort of thing that we need to balance. So inshallah, I think we are going to have more conversation on this. And also I should say that, okay, this is the most difficult thing. Maybe different kuliah will have different, what you call it, set. Okay, different kuliah may have different set, because I cannot see that, for example, I know that like consultancy, maybe in one kuliah, consultancy is very important for their contribution. In order for them to contribute to the society, they must do consultancy. But in other kuliah, they say, no, we do not do contribution through consultancy. What we do contribution through, for example, community service. Maybe other kuliah say that. Maybe some other kuliah say, no, our main contribution will come through teaching and learning. That sort of thing. So that's why different kuliah will have different set. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me share with you. This is the data that we have. This is what we call expected achievement. Okay. This is not KPI. This is expected achievement. Okay. So this is very familiar. This is just like the previous exercise for the last, I'm not sure, 10, 15 years. Okay. Where we have a completed research grant as PI, and then publications, just like before, I think. And then completed main supervision, academic book published, international recognition, impactful community engagement. So this is, to share with you, this is the existing one. So this is expected achievement. So if you have achieved this also, you can apply. But the new system now provide for flexibility. So suppose that suddenly somebody get a grant of 10 million ringgit. Of course, 10 million ringgit compared to 100,000 is, I mean, a huge number. So that's why when with the 10 million ringgit, then therefore, I think he or she can compensate the other criteria. You know, that is a sort of thing that we are trying to do. Okay, then this what will happen. Okay, I think before I come to this, before I come to this, okay, let me show this process flow. So what happened is the candidate will submit completed application to KPC, which is Kuliah Professional Committee. Okay, in fact, before that, let me say like this. What will happen is there will be a very simple application form, okay, according to the areas. So one area is teaching and supervision, another area research, and so on and so forth. So, like I mentioned, the staff will fill in their achievement as well as their reflection. I mean, they discuss what are their achievement. Similarly with research publication. So once the staff have done that, then first of all, it will go to the HOD. Okay, it will go to the HOD. And then the HOD will forward it to the Kuliah Promotional Committee. So that's what, as you can see here, the scoring for each area is between 1 to 5. Between 1 to 5. And I think for the purpose of 1 to 5, for the purpose of keeping the standard, we say that the staff should get average of 3. Okay, so you add all the numbers, divide by 6. You must get 3 or better. So I think that is not difficult to get. Okay, if you have done your part. Okay. Okay. The only thing is, like I mentioned, the thing that Kuliah and departments must work is on this rubric. Okay, good. What do Kuliah mean by with good, and with very good, and with excellent? Okay, so that's why my suggestion for the moment is the Kuliah also have your data, you know, for the past 37 years for economics and ICOL, and maybe engineering 25 years already. You have the data. So based on that data, you can more or less say that what is good in your Kuliah for this scoring. Okay, what are very good, what are excellent, you know. So I think inshallah we will have more conversation on this, on calibration and recalibration of this score. Okay, so then the Kuliah Promotion Committee will do the assessment. Okay, and then, like I mentioned, we'll forward this to the Secretariat. So the KPC evaluated the application and will submit to the Secretariat. Okay. And then, of course, there we follow the same process as before. There is a pre-interview promotion panel, all right, to look at the Kuliah recommendation. If they need more data, they will ask the Kuliah. Once it is ready, then it will be sent out to the external assessors, just like before, 5 for post of professorship and 3 for associate. So 3 for associate, 1 must be international. For the professorship, 5, 2 must be international. All right. And then we wait for the external assessor. And then once the external assessor's report are in, then the secretariat will bring it to the interview panel, interview promotion panel. Okay, checked by the rector normally. So I think that is the process. All right. The only thing is, last time when we talked to Kuliah of Economics, they want us to put some timeline, like normal timeline. How many days should be at the Kuliah, how many days at the secretariat, and then how many days at the assessor. To share with you, many cases got delayed because of this external assessor. Sometime in the process, even though the external assessors are nominated by the Kuliah, when we send to them, they are not responding. And then many times we have to reappoint new. Then of course, as you can imagine, the delay. We have given that assessor already 1-2 months time. At the end of the period, they did not respond. Then we have to appoint another assessor. So it will be another 1 or 2 months time. So I think we hope that we will resolve that issue. Okay, this is just to show that Prof Wahab is working. See, you see Prof Wahab there. He's chairing the meeting there. And then also Rector is working also there. Okay, and wow, I saw Prof Alias and Datuk Wira also there. And poor me, yeah. All right. Okay, so I think that concludes the thing. So I guess before I open for discussion, just to recap, I think the spirit is we want to allow the staff to have flexibility in their contributions towards the vision and mission of our university. And of course, we want our staff to be good leaders in their area of expertise, field of studies, okay? And of course, good leaders and good examples and mentors, also mentors for students to produce future graduates, okay? And of course, we want our staff also to be engaged closely with the communities and the industries. Okay, so we hope that if we cannot achieve everything, hopefully we are moving in the right direction, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and make it easy. So now I will listen to comments, feedbacks, and questions from the Zoom. Ada question? Any question? Chat box ada? Oh, lagi. Alright. Okay. You can type your question or you can just unmute yourself and shout.
Prof.
Yeah.
The number of years for promotion, is it the same as before? 3 for associate and 5 for professor?
Same. No, tak ada kan?
Number of years.
Kan before 5 years, baru boleh naik ada duration.
Okay, right now, with this flexible system, we do not have any fixed number of years anymore. So if you are excellent, all right, so you can be promoted soon. Yeah. Okay, there is a question here on what are the minimum value for APAR and KPI. So that's why I mentioned again, there is no more KPI and there is no more minimum value of APAR. You know, so I guess what we want is, instead of we prescribe, you now, I mean, I think the staff now have to show that I have enough contribution for the university to promote me. So I think we change the ball game. Instead we tell you, you must do this to get promoted. Now you tell the university that I am ready to be promoted. So that is the new paradigm. Okay, but of course when you say you are ready, then of course we have the evaluation. We have the evaluation at the department. We have the evaluation at the kuliah. We have the external assessor, meaning that you must also need to know what are required, because promotion exercise is more like peer review, meaning that we are going to and like for example, I can share with you, like if you're talking about internal assessor, then your colleagues, your colleagues in UM, in UPM, in UKM, in Sabah, Pahang. So your colleagues. So meaning to say that because it is already quite a well-established peer review standard, for promotion. And similarly, of course, we send also for the international. Then there is also a peer review standard. So once you say that you are ready for that, okay, then I think you can submit. What we do not want is you say that you are ready, and then we send the application to external assessor, and the external assessor will say that, wow, I don't think that he is ready yet. See, then how? We cannot help. So there are a few cases where we receive external assessor feedback, and they say that he is not ready yet. He has to focus more on this, blah 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 blah. So I think that is a thing. Okay, I hope I have answered that one. Next one.
Me, Prof.
Yeah.
Eri.
Oh, Prof. Eri, yes. Yes, how are you? You are handsome.
Okay,
your picture is very, your photo is very handsome.
I changed with the different, not handsome one. Well, since we have all this database, Prof,
yes,
rather than we ask the staff, to actually promote or being asking for promotion, will it be able to be the other way around, Prof? So there is a committee looking into the performance and then suggest that staff complete this documentation and promote. So rather than staff is pushing, so automatic system, semi-automatic, something like that.
Correct.
Because some of our colleagues is not really, too shy. Maybe some of the too shy, some other, because we have practiced this before, right, Prof? But not promotion. It is for, if not mistaken, a long time ago for the emplacement. This is automatic.
Yeah.
Then just a thought project. So the encouragement for staff to be seen by the top management that he's actually already, or his contribution already to certain level. Thank you, bro.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Eri. In fact, I think I mentioned in passing about this new mechanism that we are trying to develop, like you mentioned, that we will try now that we have a data mining expert with us now, and the submission in APAR also quite extensive. So maybe based on all this information that we have, we do some data mining, data processing, and whoever that we think that is overqualified, then I think inshallah, I think the system will invite them to apply. But of course, I should put a footnote there. It's not automatic promotion. It's just that the system will identify that he or she is eligible to be considered. But still, I think we have to go through the process, interview, blah blah blah.
Exactly, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think inshallah we look into this. Hopefully by 2021, we can have this system inshallah with the help of KICT and Prof Wahab.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Salam.
Assalamualaikum, Prof. I have a question.
Who?
Hello.
Yeah.
Tanvir here, sir. Tanvir from
Dr.
KOE.
Tanvir, I do not see your face. I see your name only.
Yeah. So when are we going to implement this new rule from 2020 or from 2021? I mean, this new criteria system, new application form, when are we planning to implement this?
All right. Okay, so inshallah, I think we are going to officially implement this from 1st of January 2021. But I also was informed that there is an email of MSD if you want to ask, if you want to apply for promotion 11 November apa tu? Yeah, there was an email from MSD Secretariat before that if you want to be considered in the next cycle for promotion is November 13. November. Correct. November 13. Okay. So that's why we say that for this November 13 deadline, you should use the current. Don't use the new one. Okay. But maybe if you plan to apply after that November 13, because it will go beyond next year, then you can start thinking of using the new guideline and new criteria. So of course there will be some period of transition, okay, but inshallah, official effective date is 1st of January 2021.
So the new forms and all these things are ready already for implementation, or yet to be ready? I mean, prepared.
The guideline, new form are ready. They are ready. We will make an official announcement maybe after that November. Yeah, maybe after middle of November we'll make announcement that you can start using this form, because this will be considered for the January exercise.
Thank you.
Okay.
Prof, if I can say something.
Yes, you are in the committee.
I think I just want to emphasize a few things here. One is as far as the APA is concerned, right now we have already had the big data analytics using AI, artificial intelligence, where we can analyze at each kuliah level. So I think it's already there. So right now what we wanted to do was to extend that further, so that even in the promotion exercise we can do something like that. And the dean now is given the tools that he and she can use the tools to actually analyze each individual performance and also the kuliah performance. I think that is not a problem. The only thing other thing I want to add is also, if you notice in the APA, that we do not tell you what is your minimum performance, in the APA, because you have to tell us your areas of expertise and where you would like to actually go, leading the way, as far as leading the way. I think that's the fundamental and the basis. And I think that's the emphasis as far as our promotion exercise. You tell us, and then from there we will pick it up, and then and let the rest of the world community to tell us whether you deserve to get the promotion.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Wahab. Very important point. Okay, so no more question. I think no more question. Mana?
Just a small thing, Prof.
Yes.
Sorry. This to pick up into what is Prof. Wahab just say. So having got this, rather than have this just simple human resource development to that nature, then it will grow into something currently as a talent management. So not everybody is the same, that same strength. So we are complementing into each other. Some of them is very. You mentioned already that they are very good at research, good at teaching, and good maybe into the disseminating things that already in the university to the society, service to the public. So therefore, having those automatically database system, talent management is not a problem. Somebody who will be filling up the position, certain position, will be also be easy to take from this talent pool, Prof. Something like that. Just an extension of that what we are doing now. Thank you.
Yeah, I see. This is a very important point where now that we have the data, so maybe it's now time for us to do data mining and data processing to identify the strength of each staff, and also like Prof. Eri mentioned, maybe for succession plan also. I mean, or maybe for the, let's say, in fact, we can use the data for collaborative research also. Many things that we can use once the data is there, inshallah. Thank you very much. I saw once somebody raised the hand just now. Siapa nama dia? Tajimi. Tajimi. Ada somebody. Ada. Tijani.
Prof, you kena buka you punya chat tu. Chat banyak question.
Ada.
Chat group banyak question.
Ha?
Dia kata chat banyak question. Chat.
Okay, Tijani ada Tijami. Tijani. Tijani, you raise your hand. Where are you? Are you sitting at the back of the class? Where? Tak ada. Okay, anyway. Itu Tijani tadi tu? Itu Tijani. I saw Tijani Ashimi. Tak ada. Itu dah, alright. Okay, the chat. Okay, I'm reading the chat here, Prof. Razak. How do you measure leadership qualities? Everyone can be appointed to a post, but how is the leadership qualities measured? Wow, this is one talk seminar by itself, you know. Okay, but in brief, I would say that we, as much as possible, we would like to have this 360 evaluation, you know, to determine whether you are good, you have good leadership qualities. Of course, first of all, we have to ask your subordinates. So maybe your students. Your student will say that, is this person a good leader? Or if you are a chairman of committee, we will ask your committee member, you know. Or if you are HOD, we ask your department member. So sometimes we go there, casually ask, you know. So I guess the leadership is, again, is an intangible, the KIP that we're talking about. So that's why normally perception is very important. Perception of your colleagues also very important. Okay. So inshallah, I think, and of course, we also take heavy weight of your boss, your superior. Your superior also will judge your leadership. Meaning that if your boss asks you to do something, prepare a proposal in 3 days, do you submit in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or 5 days, or never? You know, so that will show you. Or if your superior asks you to become a chairman in, let's say, Ibadah camp, so we see whether the Ibadah camp functions very well or not. So those are the things that I think we normally look at leadership qualities. Okay. Of course, there are some questionnaires also on leadership qualities. Okay, the next one. Tanvir ni dah settle kan?
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Oh, Khairul Azami. Yes, where are you now? You look casual.
I look casual. I'm at home, Prof. So
Okay.
I have 2 questions for you, Prof.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay,
you can answer.
Huh?
You can answer.
No, I need your answer. Not Prof. Razak, not Prof. Wahab.
No. I'm not the committee, Prof. Wahab and Prof. Faris only.
Okay, Prof. Faris, you know, previously the university had this, all these tracks, you know, academic tracks, all these teaching tracks. So we are abandoning this track, or what's the status, Prof. Faris, for the promotion?
Okay, the second one?
Second question is, you know, in some, of course, we are developing ourselves. So from day to day, from time to time. So that's why when we have a lot of criteria and then it meets the criteria of the promotion, we apply for the promotion. So what if, for example, where it is in the criteria of the promotion says that it's not only ourselves that we develop, it's the kuliah as well we develop. What I mean is, what about the mentor-mentee system? Let's say, for example, if you wanna be promoted to a professor, right? So how many associate professors do you produce? Have you produced? Let's say you want to become, you know, so and so forth. So if this has a continuation, it will help the kuliah as well, not only yourself. That's
okay. Thank you very much. I think this is Dr. Khairul Azami. These are two very important 2 questions, and Alhamdulillah we address it in our revised promotion criteria. Okay. Because let me start with your second point. The second point is, that's why I mentioned we're talking about reflection. We're talking about leadership just now. Here is where that staff will say that, okay, I am the dean for the last so many years, and what I have done. Do I groom my staff? Okay. Do I train my staff? You know. So similarly, if at the lower level, let's say a staff would like to apply for professor, he is the coordinator of research group. Then he said that, okay, I have been a coordinator of a research group for the past 5 years, and here is where you mentioned. I mean, I become a good mentor. I mean, I produce students. I produce. I mean, I bring my colleagues together with me. So this is the you get the point. I mean, this is a new spirit. You know, the new spirit is in the old system, he will just mention that I'm a coordinator of research group. But in the new spirit, he has to reflect and he has to also discuss what is the impact and what is the output of he becoming the research coordinator, for example. I think that is your point. Exactly what you want. Okay. Okay. On your first question, also we have addressed in this. I think you joined our meeting late. I think I already mentioned this at the beginning. This is the most popular question. Our flexibility now will allow, if you think that you are good in teaching and learning. If you're good in teaching and learning, okay, it is allowed now. You can reflect on what you have done in teaching and learning. Are you now becoming top 10 finalists at the global level for becoming a teacher? Okay, have you written a textbook for your course? Have you used a new tools for the course? You know, so you can define that. Okay, the only thing is we still believe in holistic stuff. Holistic stuff means we do not want and in fact, this is also similar with the KPT criteria. I mean, you cannot just say that I am good in teaching, I'm not going to do anything else. Even if you are good in teaching, you must do research in your teaching. So you must do research, you must publish in your teaching area, okay, so that you become a holistic staff. So I think we cover. And similarly, if you are good in research, you're good in community service, you can focus, be excel, but of course, you must also do not neglect other responsibility that you must reflect. Okay, and the best is if everything, your narrative, your storyline is towards a focus area that you become a leader and you become a champion and people refer to you in that area. I hope that in general to answer your question.
So Prof, it means that like, you know, like other universities, you don't have to declare in the beginning that next year I'll be in the teaching track.
Oh, no. No, you don't have to declare, but you have to define yourself. Right now, you must plan that, okay, I am good in this, so let me be very, very good until national level, international level, leading the way.
Okay.
All right.
Flexible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prof.
okay, thank you. Yeah, how much enough is enough? In my case, this is Nor Zarina. I am not yet 2 years in service. Like I mentioned, like we mentioned, I mean, we do not look at years anymore. We look at your contributions. So we look at what you have achieved. All right. Okay, there is a question on who will be the assessors. How many assessors for promotion? So like I mentioned, for professorship, 5 external assessors, 2 must be from international. We define international here outside Malaysia. 3 is internal. For associate professor, 3 external assessors, 1 must be from outside Malaysia. Okay, who meaning that normally in the form, normally the names first is proposed by the candidate. But then after that, normally the kuliah will look at the names. If they agree with the candidate, they agree, or they will propose other names because we want to avoid conflict of interest. For example, we can be very transparent and very logical here. For example, we do not want that the candidate put his or her supervisor to be assessor, because I mean, so if possible, we want the assessor to be an independent expert in the same area. Independent, that is the word, independent. So normally, in fact, in the evaluation form also, one of the first questions that we ask is, how long did you know the candidate? If you know, how long and in what capacity? So I think we ask that so that to avoid this conflict of interest. Okay, or we do not want your friend. You have a friend in UKM, then you put your friend. So those are the things that we want to be, if possible, independent, but it must be expert that can look at your work, especially in your area of expertise. Okay, apa lagi? Huh? There are cases on the contributions of staff in other field of expertise. Apa ni? For example, the core of there are cases.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam. Yes.
I'm Dr. Zakaria from engineering.
Yes.
I just want to ask,
how is my office?
How many you will...
My office next door, okay?
Sorry?
My office is next to your office.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay, I just want to ask for new student, for new lecturer, how long they will take time for them to confirm?
Confirm?
Yeah, for confirmation for new lecturer.
Confirmation is 1 to 3 years. Confirmation is normally not a big issue, right? It's straightforward. Confirmation is if the dean do not have any what you call it objection, then normally it's quite straightforward. Confirmation is not an issue. It's normally it can be within a year up to 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw many got confirmed in 1 year.
Yeah, I think confirm provided that they already completed their teaching methodology, correct?
Correct. Yeah, BTMC. They have to attend some BTMC, maybe type. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all from me.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yang Nurul Hamiruddin ni MSD should expedite the promotion process. I think this one what we discussed. I mean, if possible, we want to have a timeline. Like for example, from the day that you fill the form to the day that you submit to your department, and then of course how many days in the department, how many days at the kuliah, and then when come to the secretariat, of course I'm very sure they want to wait for the meeting. Then from the meeting date, how many days? I think we have to work on that. Inshallah, I think the secretariat will work on that. Okay. All right. All right. Yang mana ni? Nombor apa? Ni Mira apa? Tengok Mira ni. Yang mana? Apa nama? Oh, Rika. Thank you. And then staff would like to focus the call. How can she hear other calls? For example, if staff receive. Okay, this one, Dr. Rika. By the way, congratulations. I think you got a new post a few days ago, Dr. Rika. It is already in the our university policy to allow academic staff to ask for reduce in teaching if they got research grants. It's already there. Just that, I mean, you have to discuss and talk to your kuliah or your HOD. So it is already there. I mean, but of course we want a mutual understanding between the staff and the kuliah. So maybe the kuliah we say that, okay, I can reduce your since you have a grant, you have a 3 million grant, I can reduce your teaching for this semester, but make sure you complete everything. But next semester you must, I mean, cover your teaching. I mean, that sort of thing. You must have a conversation and discussion with the kuliah. Okay, so meaning to say that you must plan. Of course, I mean, my observation also for our young brothers and sisters, you always accept all the administration given to you, right? So very good. May Allah reward you. So, but of course, you must balance. You know, you must have a balance. I mean, your teaching duties, your administrative duties, as well as your research duties. You must have a very balanced and well managed what you call it, time management is very, very important. But of course, there is already in the system. If you want to reduce your teaching and administration, you can discuss with your heads and deans. Okay, ada lagi.
How do you measure the contribution factor? The index and measure it.
Oh, Dr. Nur Sarima. Okay, how do we measure the contributions as impactful? That one you should ask your dean. What the index measures use. Sorry, I joined the session a bit late. Okay, so like we discussed, I mean, this is what we call, we are shifting from KPI to KIP. From KPI, the one that we have indicators, to KIP, key intangible performance. So impact normally is KIP. So impact normally, I think that's why now our staff also now should start thinking whenever you embark in a project, research or do publication, or in fact teaching also, you must have these impact outputs at the end. What you want to have, what you want to achieve, output and the impact. Okay. Maybe I can give you the simple example lah. For example, like if you are writing a policy, then your policy is used, and because your policy is used, then let's say it improve cyber security, then there's an impact. Or if your new method is used in a factory and it reduce cost, there is an impact to the society. Or if you are economist, you go to the society and then you have an economic project there, then it generate income, more income to the society. So these are impact. So those are the examples of impact, and I think you know better what impact are relevant to your projects and to your area, inshallah. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. Zul Nurani also, I think similarly, like impactful community service is, like for example, I think the normal example that our rector always mention is this gender apa tu? Yeah, gender dysphoria ke apa kan? So meaning that this flagship go to the community and then manage to change the what you call it, the mind, the way. So this is an impact, meaning that you change. Impact mean you change for the better. One of the things that is there in our vision, we want to have a better society and also better life for people. So your case, if you are using you are doing river, so if you go and do the river project and the river become clean, then it's impactful. But now if I go, the river is not clean, so there's no impact lah. Your project is, so that's why your challenge is when you go, you must change for the better. I mean that the community will benefit from it. Is it grant forever on national level? Okay, grant is of course as always as before. I mean we are open. We consider all university, national, international. Okay, but of course we prefer that of course the grant should be the bidding grant. Normally is from external party lah. We give more weightage for external party. All right. Okay. During this pandemic, it's very difficult to do community service on site. Yeah, we fully understand that. So it's a challenge to all of us. Now we have to do community service online. All right.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam. Yes, Akil Naufal, Tri Arif.
Hanafi, Prof.
Oh, okay.
Your neighbor.
Yeah.
Prof Arif, since the new KIP intangible,
yes,
it looks like qualitative in nature, where it is not measurable. Where our previous exercise we are using numbers, quantitative. Yeah. Now qualitative open up like a kind of vague scenario where bias can be around. So how do you avoid, how do you manage the bias in terms of applying for promotion? For example, okay, I claim that my project have given impact to one project, and then the other assessor will look that is not an impact, and the other assessor would say, oh, that is an impact. So how do you overcome this bias? Because this will open up a vague statement, impact, like an impact word, okay, to the candidate who apply for promotion, because it is based on qualitative perception.
Okay, thank you very much for your comments. We take note of your comments. Okay, anyway, as you know, I mean, even doing research also, we have quantitative research, we have qualitative research, okay? So I would say that after some time, I think after some time, with a good rubric and calibration, I would say that even the qualitative measure also, I think will be accepted. Okay, but like I mentioned, the spirit is you must now reflect and you must now show the impact. So if we have shown the impact with evidence, okay, then I don't think the committee can dispute. But if you just claim, then maybe committee can dispute. If you just claim, I claim that I have done this, so I claim that I have changed the life of 100 people. But if you show that 100 people with names and then with their testimony, all right. So I guess that is the challenge. I mean, so that's why when you say that it's not only claim, but you must show with evidence that that the committee cannot deny it. So I think there is a way to this. So I don't see. Maybe at the beginning there will be some discussion, okay, but I think after some time I see that I think we can accept this.
Prof, salam,
yeah.
Prof. Izzat.
Shahriza, you are not academic staff.
Separuh. Prof, I'm sorry, I'm a bit late tadi, Prof. Tapi since apa namanya, my boss asked all of us to attend this, to join this, so we join anyway. So, Prof, saya lambat masuk tadi, tapi I just wanted to know, you mentioned about key intangible performance, KIP, kan? So, apa nama, does this KIP apa nama, take into consideration the contribution of our staff being coordinator ke ataupun committee members, whatever, what have you, but without the rector's signature ataupun without the appointment from the rector, because we have that in the kuliah kan, Prof, if you can recall that we have coordinators like katakan academic advisor, you know, committee members for our apa Islamization, not the head, because their their appointment is just coming from the kuliah level, for instance. So how do we take that into consideration? Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, I think we already mentioned this. First of all, I think since you mentioned about appointment, letter of appointment, I think our rector is talking about now, don't bother about letter of appointment, just do your job, you know. So letter appointment is the least important. Okay, so to answer your question, there are two places where you can record your contribution. Number one is under leadership. So you can record. I mean, whatever that you become a leader in the kuliah, you can record. And I'm very sure your HOD and your deans know about it. So you can record your leadership as coordinator, as head of committee, as gardener. Apa lagi kat kuliah tu? Taking care of the toilet, you know. I mean, we can record all this, no problem. Okay. So and of course, like you mentioned, you can also, if you are doing the project and you are making an impact, then you can also record under the impactful contributions. So one is under leadership, one is under impactful contributions. So Dr. Nur Farahida is smiling. So in the chat. So I guess
Prof.
Yeah, I guess that answer you. Yeah.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, say you are shopping or something, what?
Tak ada, Prof. Gambar profile.
Alright.
Tak sikat rambut tu, tak boleh buka kamera. Prof, Okay, we have been talking about how to apply for the post from the perspective of the new system lah. Basically, again, as Dr. Hanaf mentioned tadi, this will open up to macam biases, and then there will be people who are very confident who will apply, and then there are people who probably feel macam they have not done enough, reluctant to apply. So there are a lot of things to consider pasal fairness lah, because at the end of the day, if we appoint unfairly, we appoint someone, probably ada orang yang lagi bagus tapi kita appoint someone yang less, then probably there will be macam issue lah. Tapi again, my question is not related to how the promotion is done. From this perspective of the new system, what would be the expectation once you become professor, once you become associate professor? What would be the expectation from this system lah? Sejahtera punya expectation is what? What would be your amanah? What would be your responsibility once you're appointed to this new position? Thank you, Prof.
Okay. This is the problem when the questioner knows the answer. He knows the answer already, but still want to ask question.
No, that bro. I just want to probably share with everyone lah juga. I have no clear answer to this.
Okay. Okay. So I think nevertheless.
You go to shopping lah, Yasir, rather than you ask question.
So nevertheless, like we mentioned, okay, especially for the post of professorship, we always mention that the candidate must at least profess, okay, in one of his or her area of expertise. And in fact, this is one of the common questions asked during the interview. You want to become professor? You want to become a professor in which area? I mean, you are known in which area? So meaning to say that, I mean, the expectation to become a professor is, I mean, he should be leading in one area of expertise, okay? And then he has to show how he leads, okay? And then, like for example, we have been discussing, maybe he show by mentoring some other colleagues, younger colleagues, okay, or students, okay. And at the same time, of course, how his work is used by other people, or how he has, using his expertise, contributed to the society, have an impact on the society, all right? And how, for example, his idea and his expertise shape the public, opinions. So there is, I mean, it's a very high expectation to become a professor. So that's why sometimes we look at whether a person has been invited to deliver a keynote talks, keynote speeches at various conference related to his expertise, okay, or the person that, as an expert, become serve in a national or international committee related to his expertise, or I mean the person is what you call it, review or become external assessor. So those are the things that I think, but of course we do not expect everybody has all this, but at least he must show some what you call it, achievements that he is leading the way. So I guess that is for professorship, okay. For associate professor, because it's just after the assistant professor, after you got your PhD, you become a assistant professor, and then to become associate professor this is more a young researcher type, young researcher. Should be a very promising, should be showing that he or she has the expertise how to conduct good research as well as to become good mentor, potential to become good leaders, and then of course involve with projects that benefit the society. So more or less, I think I would say that the expectation is almost like other universities all around the world. Just that maybe the area of focus, because our university has our own vision and mission. Therefore, we want to look more our professors and associate professors contributing in line with the vision and mission of the university. I think that is my take for the moment. We can continue the discussion.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Prof, if I can add a little bit on that, because I found there are a lot of questions in regard to this subjectivity. Okay. So my suggestion is that we must also remember that we also look at APA, which is very important in this case here. And the APA will tell us whether you're the top 10% or the bottom 10%. So in this case here, for sure, if you're top 10%, the likelihood of the promotion exercise to assist you will be much higher. But if you're in the bottom 10%, that means your performance are not there yet. So in this case here, there is a likelihood that we may advise you, or the dean may advise you in this particular case what needs to be done to improve. So I think it's not just the whatever that you submit, okay, but we also take a look at your upper performance.
Okay, thank you very much for that comment.
Prof.
Yes.
Is there any age for the age limit for the promotion?
Who is asking?
I am Muhammad Al-Dib, engineering.
Oh, you are still young. Why are you talking about age limit?
Yes to know.
Okay, as of now, our system says that for the normal promotion exercise is below the retirement age, right? Yeah, below the retirement age, which is now 60. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Yeah, beyond that is become a special case. Yeah, a normal case is up to the retirement age.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, Professor Faris.
Yes, Professor Diaz, how are you?
Yeah,
yes.
the same question for a person beyond above 60. Can one apply for a professorship?
MashaAllah. I think that one, I think, like I mentioned, for the normal process, normally the secretary only entertain up to the retirement age.
Oh, okay.
Beyond that, I think it's a separate exercise.
Okay, but one can apply, right?
Yeah, case by case. I think you have to talk to the dean and you have to talk to the secretary and see how.
Okay, because I joined the UIA only recently. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Prof, I have a question. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Prof, just regarding to the international stuff, which is, contract based. And usually the contract 2 years. So then if let's say we already fulfill all this requirement, but our contract is going to finish, and then if we apply, maybe the progress take long time. So then how we can get promotion in this case?
Okay, what I can say is based on my experience, especially when I was the dean at engineering, normally we do not tie the contract duration and the promotion. You can always apply. You can always apply at any time. But of course, once your contract is renewed or extended, then I think the process will go on. I think that is what happened, right? So we don't tie. We don't say that since your contract is only 2 months left, don't apply. You can always apply. And then we just follow the procedure. And then normally once the contract is renewed or extended, then we just complete the process. Is that okay?
Okay, bro. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam, Dr. Mutakabir.
Okay, Prof. One thing I ask you,
how would you consider a candidate's achievement when he or she has a co-researcher of a grant or a co-supervisor of a master's or PhD student or a co-author of a article?
Everything co?
Yes, but I have also the main, but I also do some co-authorship or maybe something. So how the authority will consider my contribution?
No, that's why again, okay, good that you raised this point. For example, now there is now remember before when you submit your publication, you just list down the authors, list down the title, publication. But now in the new system, you must also reflect on the publication. You must say that, okay, even though I am the third author, but I am the one that did this. So do not give any credit to the first author. Something like that. You can argue. You can argue now with this new system. You can argue now. You just don't put like that. If you think that these are very important contribution that you are making, so you can mention that. Even though I am the second author, but I did this in this paper. That sort of thing. So this is what we call flexibility. Before you just list. Okay? Because what the committee would like to know is, what is your contribution? What we do not want is, in the past, when we have 5 authors, only the 5th author only doing the work. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th author is not doing the work. And if we ask them, they also do not know what is going on in the paper. So if you say that, okay, even though I am a 3rd author, but I am the one who wrote this paper, okay, then I think it's okay. So those are the things. Okay, but of course, like I mentioned, we are talking about holistic stuff. So you cannot just become a everything, So you must, at certain time, you must become a leader. You must lead in some research grants. You must lead in some publication. So you must have a balance. You cannot be always a So I think that is, but the detail, I think we have to look at the detail, and then of course your department, your deans will look at the detail of that. But that is the basic concept.
Prof,
yes.
Just one complementary question regarding this.
Yes.
Regarding the authorship sequence in the publication, usually I practice and many other practice that we give students as the first authorship. And as a supervisor, we lead the project, we guide the student, we usually become the corresponding author. But usually we, among the staff, maybe the main contributor will be the first among the staff, but students usually always be the first. So will that be considered, like, for example, not purely first authorship, that rather who is actually leading the project or conceptualize the project and guided the student? Usually student does the work, that's why he gets the first authorship.
Okay, I think we have resolved this issue. Yeah, we have resolved this issue. We say that as long as you become the first IIUM staff in the author list, you become like a main author. Yeah.
Okay, got
it. The student is not staff. You are the first. Then you become a main author. But again, I mentioned that let us try. Let us do. I mean, let us try this new experiment that we are doing. Now, when you put your publication, you also reflect on it. You mentioned that the first author is my student. I am guiding them. I mean, now you can reflect. You can now explain, and then what is the major contribution of the paper, how it impact the society. So now you can explain. You can elaborate on the paper rather than just mentioning the citation.
Understood.
Yeah. All right. Mana? Pagoh. In Pagoh, we don't really have that privilege. PG student, how will you assess us for promotion then, Prof? Of course, I think in the past, I remember when Kuantan kuliah are just starting, and then we do understand their situation. So for the first few years, normally, because we understand that they do not have a PG program. So for a few years, I think we do, compensate that with others. So meaning that with others. So on case by case basis. But of course, like I mentioned, your dean and your HOD knows better. They will recommend to us. Okay, but of course, this is a temporary or transient lah, temporary measure. But after you become, your kuliah become more matured, maybe 5, 6, 10 years, then of course we expect that PG students are there. We expect that you will have enough research to do, because I know at the beginning, first 1 or 2 years, normally the kuliah are struggling in putting their house in order, the curriculum, the teaching, the lab, you know. But after, I think after 3, 4, 5 years, I think they should become more stable, and they should plan also for all these PG programs and students. Okay, so but of course we do have case by case with a solid justification, of course, and better now, the system now, we say that it's flexible. You say that, okay, I don't have a PG student because the kuliah have no PG student. Okay, then you can show that you are good in other core areas. Okay, very good. 11:28. We have 2 more minutes.
Let me.
Yeah, Prof. Razak, can you summarize?
The summary is like this: everybody can apply. It's like Asia, everybody can fly. Anyway, Prof, maybe for the guy, I got 2, 3 questions over here. Okay, as a dean and also maybe as a staff. Number 1, okay, you did mention just now, we have to be a holistic staff. Okay, right. Meaning that on top of the criteria that we need to produce every year. Okay, and I believe this one also will tally with the APAR. Okay, the teaching, the supervision, the publication, the research, the consultancy, whatever lah. Okay, plus the KIP. Okay, and then I believe that because of this criteria, we should also have the benchmark. I mean, the percentage distribution of each criteria. Okay, because for promotion we got different category. For example, okay, assistant professor to associate professor to professor. Okay, so there must be a criteria, although it's actually open. Okay, there must be a minimum requirement. Okay, because we cannot expect that if you just open it subjective, it's actually open to different interpretation, as been discussed just now. Because, like for example, from assistant professor to associate professor, what are actually the minimum that they need to achieve? Okay, I believe that you are going to have this. Okay, and also the contributions. Because there is one question just now, like Zalifah mentions. Okay, and also we also sometimes have a difficulty at kuliah. Okay, because sometimes, like consultancy, okay, the consultancy if actually give impact, okay, but yet the consulting was not registered with the university. Yes. Or the community engagement was not registered with the university. How we are going to evaluate this? Because it's not going to be reflected in the system. If one is not registered, it's not going to be reflected in the system. Like for example, consultancy or whatever, cakap, and but again, they are doing it, okay, and it sometimes give impact, okay, to the society. So how we are going to evaluate this? There's 3 questions over here. Number 1, on the distribution percentage of each criteria, the minimum for each category of promotion. Number 2, the contribution. It may impact the society, it may impact the university, but it was not registered with the university. And number 3, the criteria for KPI or for the criteria for APAR and the criteria for motion, is it going to be tally together? Because Prof. Wahab mentioned just now, it's also with regard to the APAR. Are you in the top 10 or you are actually second top 10 or whatever? So this is my question. Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Razak. Very good question. Make us think more, ponder more. Okay, so let me do one by one. Okay, I do agree that even now I'm showing you the expected achievement here. Even in the expected achievement, you can see that associate professor and professor numbers are different. like that. Social science 20,000, associate 70,000. But this is not an, like I mentioned, not an absolute number lah. I mean, but this is like expected. That's why I should say expected achievement. Okay. So I do believe, yeah, I agree with Prof. Razak that for the post of associate professor, criteria may slightly different from post of professor. I mean, because for example, for the post of professor, normally with the 5 external assessor, maybe we will require more. Okay, that one I agree. But here, I think the secretariat just give you a very standard expected achievement. And I already mentioned that maybe some kuliah may have, based on this, may have to deliberate further on this. Okay, so you can accept this, or you can also modify it a little bit, and then we can discuss that one, inshallah. Okay, on the second one, consultancy, registered, not registered, of course. If, let's say, we would like to have this system where the secretariat or the system can identify who is eligible, who is not eligible, then we hope that all contributions should be registered. Okay. On that matter, in the last ICT Council meeting, I think Dr. Nur Sarimah is here. The university is even developing a database or an app for staff to record wakaf time. So even wakaf time now will be recorded. And to share with you, Prof. Wahab was there, and Dr. Mira, CPD also was there. Where we look at APAR, this is where going to your last question. Most of the data for APAR is actually available online. Most of the data, like teaching and learning, supervision, research grant, publication. The only thing that is not there online is this community service and wakaf time, okay, or volunteer work. This is not there. So that's why we hope that I'm really look forward to this new developed software by ITD on wakaf time, so that if we can link everything together, so we will ask our staff to keep updating their database. All right, so including like what you mentioned, the consultancy, so everything must be registered and updated. Okay, and then we can have easy, I mean, we can easily pool all the data to one central data, and this will be good for APAR and also for promotion. Okay, on APAR and promotion, we have to understand that it serves 2 different purposes. APAR is an annual achievement or annual performance, whereas promotion is an accumulated, meaning that it can happen that every year somebody fulfill the APAR, but 5 years still they do not fulfill the promotion. So I think this is the thing that I think we need to reconcile. Okay, because maybe for APAR, I mean, there are just, I mean, minimum annual expected duties and responsibilities. Okay, but for promotion, in order for promotion, I mean, there are, I mean, must be a good, I mean, accumulated achievement. Like for example, we mentioned that, I mean, the candidate must show that he is now an expert or leader in some field of expertise on that sort of thing. But of course, I do agree with Prof. Razak, and earlier Prof. Wahab also mentioned, I mean, with the improvement of our APAR system, then we can use the data from APAR system for promotion. That one I think we can do. So I think that is my comment for now, Prof. Razak. Inshallah, we continue the discussion. Okay, so thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
Prof, will you allow last question? One more last question, just.
Yes.
Okay, just a last question. Will university discriminate between quality and quantity in terms of publication and all these things. In the criteria here shows still the number, but will university do like someone publish less but a real good journal, someone publish a lot but not so good journal or not so impactful journal? So is there any mechanism that university is going to implement to discriminate between these two? That is my last question. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope this is your last question. Huh?
Yes.
So, like what we have been discussing, I mean, if you are talking about publication now, now you have to have a narrative of your publication. You cannot just, I mean, state that, okay, I have published 4 or 5. Number one, we want to know is, based on your publication list, what is your area of expertise? That is number one. Number two, we also want to look, like we mentioned before, we want also to look at the impact, whether the publication is just for the sake of publication, or whether the publication carry some good findings that change the world, you know, that sort of thing. So now you have to have that narrative. So meaning to say that hidden there, I think hidden there is not only quality, quantity. I mean, we want to also look at the quantity and the impact. So that is more important. So rather than you list down, you publish 10, but there is no impact. I mean, we feel that it's only for the sake of publication. Then I think it does not carry much weight. So that is the new thing that we are doing. Okay, Dr. Tamir?
Yes, thank you very much, Prof.
Okay. Okay, I think we should. Yes.
Can I tell something?
Yeah. Dr. Ahsanul Haq, yeah.
Yes, Prof. Actually, I understand this one regarding the last question, that is, one is good journal publication rather than, let's say, moderate quality journal publication. I think the impactful can come here if you publish good journal, but nobody is citing to you. What is the impact? But if, let's say, moderate quality journal, but lot of people is citing to your paper and following your paper, then how do you think it? Number one quality journal I publishing, nobody citing to me. Moderate quality paper and citing, publishing, but so many people is pick upping my citation, all of this thing. Which one can be impactful?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. That's why when we go into detail, things become very complex, you know. So that's why I do not want to go into detail, you know. And then because when we start to go into detail, then we have to see whether if you have many citation, is it only your friends are citing, you know, or only, so there's so many things, or you are citing your own paper. So I don't think we want to go into detail. So that's why right now we want to empower the candidates to explain, to describe. And hopefully before they describe, they say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, and they will do it truthfully and sincerely. So that's what I want. So we want the candidate to truthfully, sincerely describe what they have done, you know. So that's why I don't want to say that good journal is better than moderate journal, or moderate journal is better than, because if you look at Prof. Kamal and Allah Yarham Tan Sri Ahmad Ibrahim, right? So they do not have any, I mean, Q1 or ISI at that time, you know, but they make an impact. I mean, their writings, their ideas, their what you call it, books, like Tan Sri Ahmad Ibrahim wrote few books, become textbook for the whole nation, if not international, you know. Prof. Kamal also come up with a new idea that is debated, you know. That is a thing that we want. Not just to look at, oh, this journal is Q1, Q2, you know. So, but we want to look at the impact, at the real impact, and how people are benefiting from them. Okay, thank you very much. I hope no more question, right?
Yeah, Prof. Assalamualaikum, Prof.
MashaAllah, there's some more question. He's over time already.
Yeah, just one question from me.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Prof, for the discussions. I just want to discuss about the last slide, just displayed now. When looking at the slide actually comprises for the associate professor and the professor. So there's no any column for the assistant professor. So yeah, in that slide. The one just shown now.
Okay, brother. I think you missed the slide.
Oh,
See the
okay.
slide there where I say associate professor means assistant professor would like to apply.
Okay.
When we say
Okay.
professor, it's the associate professor applying for professorship. Okay?
Oh, okay, Prof. Okay.
Okay. So we do not miss you.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Okay, brothers and sisters, thank you very much. This is Jumu'ah. We want to prepare for our Jumu'ah prayer individually, right? So you read your own khutbah and you become the imam, and then you pray on your own. May Allah give you the ajar of praying Jumu'ah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much. So inshallah we end our meeting. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah will make it easy. Of course, I get the point that this fairness thing and all this thing, but of course, as Razak know, Wahab know, I mean, it's not easy to make a fairness system for everybody, you know. Even Agong also is pening kepala kan. So it's not easy, but of course, I think if all of us are sincere, truthful, committed to our job, inshallah, I think this new system will really uplift our work. And of course, may Allah SWT accept all our good deeds, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so inshallah. Yeah, we adjourn with Suratul As and Tasbih Kifarah. Subhanallah. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Prof. Arif.
No problem.
Thank you, Prof.
My pleasure, no problem.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih, Prof.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Oh, thank you.